Chapter 12. Alice's Evidence. Alice jumped up with surprise. She pushed the jury box with the edge of her skirt by accident. All the jurymen fell down at once. Alice started to pick them up very quickly. Soon she put them back in their right places. After some time, the jurymen found their pencils and papers. After that, they began to write down notes about the accident. "What do you know about this?" said the king to Alice. "Nothing," answered Alice. "Then, according to Rule 42, you have to leave the court. The rule says all persons more than a mile high have to leave the court," said the king. Everybody looked at Alice. "I am not a mile high," said Alice. "You are even 2 miles high," said the queen. "Anyway, I won't go. That's not a regular rule," said Alice. Nobody said a word. Then the king turned to the white rabbit. "What's your verdict?" said the king to the white rabbit. "I found this letter on the floor. This is a good evidence, I think. This letter has no address, see," said the white rabbit. Everybody looked surprised. "Please, your majesty, I didn't write this letter. There is no name at the end," said the knave to the king. "Yes, you didn't write your name. It means you had some evil plan in your mind at that time," said the king. "Read this letter aloud," said the king to the white rabbit. And so the white rabbit put on his spectacles and started to read aloud. "I know you talked to her. I know you talked about me very kindly, but you said I couldn't swim and I didn't go. If she talks about me, what will happen to me then? I gave her 1, you gave her 2, you gave us 3 or even more. They all returned from him to you, but they were mine before. If somebody finds out about it, set them free at once. I think you were an obstacle between him and it before she had that fit. Don't tell him about it. You have to keep this secret from the rest, between you and me." "That's very important evidence," said the king. "But who can explain it? There is no meaning in it," cried Alice. "We don't need any meaning. Anyway, I don't understand this letter. I gave her 1, they gave him 2, they all returned from him to you before she had that fit." "Okay," said the king. "Sentence first, verdict after," cried the queen. "It's wrong," cried Alice. "Hold your tongue, cut off her head," cried the queen to Alice. "Who cares for you? You are just a pack of cards," cried Alice. At that moment, the whole pack rose up into the air and flew down on Alice. She screamed with fear loudly. Suddenly, she found herself on the bank. She lay close to her sister. "Wake up, Alice! What a long sleep you had!" said her sister. "Oh, I had such a curious dream," said Alice to her sister. Alice still remembered all her strange adventures. She told her sister about her dream at once. Her sister liked her story very much. "It was a wonderful dream, but now run for your tea. It is late already," said her sister. So Alice stood up and ran back home. But her sister didn't follow her at once. She sat on the ground and watched the setting sun. She thought of Alice and all her wonderful adventures in her dream. She closed her eyes for a while. Suddenly, the place around her became full of strange animals from her little sister's dream. The white rabbit walked quickly in the grass. She could hear the noise of the cups from the crazy tea party and the loud scream of the queen. Many plates crashed around her dashes and her baby again. Once again she heard the cry of the sad turtle. So she sat silently on the ground. Her eyes were closed. She was in Wonderland. She had only to open her eyes to find herself back in reality. All the noises would disappear at once. Then she imagined what her little sister would look like after many years. and how she would keep the loving heart of her childhood, and how she would tell many strange tales to her own children. Perhaps she would tell them about her dream of Wonderland. Then she would tell them about the simple joys of the many summer days of her childhood.